Hello everyone, this is Damini here, a super teacher from 7th classes. So this is a second video of a chapter Heredity and Evolution. In first video, we already have talked about what do you mean by heredity, what do you mean by genes, DNA, chromosomes, so on and so forth, right? In this video, we will talk about Mendel's work, Gregor John Mendel's work, okay? So let me share my screen first. So before starting the work of Mendel's, let's talk about what do you mean by Punnett Square. Look, Punnett Square is an instrumental square you made in your paper. That square is helpful tool that help to predict the variations and probability that can come from crossbreeding. अगर आप क्रॉस करवाते हो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये मेल है, ये फीमेल है, आप फीमेल के ट्रेट लेते हो, मेल के ट्रेट लेते हो, दोनों के गैमेट्स को आप एक तरह से प्रोबेबिलिटी लगाते हो कि हाँ जो नया ऑफस्प्रिंग है वो ये वाले ट्रेट के साथ होने वाला है. So we make a Punnett square for that, right? So Punnett square is a helpful tool that help to predict the variation and probability that can come from the crossbreeding. This include the prediction crossing plants, animals, even humans with each other, right? So how to make a Punnett square? Let's talk about that. Look, you can make a Punnett square by putting so many things in it. Punnett square allow genesis to predict a possible genotype and phenotype of offspring. The first step must be, for example, in the example of a both parent, the heterozygous. दोनों parent heterozygous है of yellow P allele. Parent 1 is with YY, parent 2 is also with YY. Right, so both are heterozygous. Heterozygous भी मैंने last video में बता दिया था, which have a two different type of genes in a same loci. Right, अगर same genes होगी same loci पे, we call it as homozygous. Right, so make a grid. First of all, you have to make a grid like this. Then you have to take a gametes. Top of the grid and those the other parent along with the left hand side. One parent you have to put like this, other parent के genes you have to put it like this. अब वो genes अगर यहाँ पे देखो दो ही gamete बनेंगे y और y, इधर भी दो ही gamete बनेंगे y और y. एक gamete possibility, we are taking a probabilities, right? Possibility हो सकती है ये वाला gamete जाके fuse हो, ये वाला gamete जाके fuse हो. अभी हमें भी नहीं पता कौन सा gamete fuse होगा, right? So yeah, then you have to cross it. You have to cross this first, you have to cross this first. YY become the capital Y is a homozygous condition. Then YY become a recessive condition. This is also, sorry, heterozygous condition. This is a homozygous condition, you can see, with a recessive trait which give you the black pod. That means this capital Y is representing the yellow color of the pod and small y is a gene for the black color of the pod. This is how you have to make a Punnett square. So I hope this is helpful for you now. Let's talk about Mendel's work. Gregor John Mendel, known as a father of genetics, was an Australian monk who worked on pea plant to understand the concept of heredity. His work laid to the foundation of modern genetics. He made a 3 basic law of inheritance. These law we will later discuss in this video. That law of dominant trait होता है, law of segregation, दो जीन है segregate होते हैं, कभी इकट्ठे नहीं जाते, ठीक है. The law of independent assortment, दोनों independent है, आज नहीं अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं, कल जाके एक्सप्रेस करेंगे, लेकिन एक दूसरे पे डिपेंड नहीं रहते, राइट. सो Gregor John Mendel was the first scientist to make a systematic study of a pattern of inheritance which involved the transfer of characteristics from parent to progeny, heredity. Mendel chose pea plant. Why he chose pea plant? For studying inheritance, because pea plant had a number of clear-cut difference from very easy to tell apart. Right? इतना ज़्यादा clear-cut difference है. पॉड का कलर ले लो, आप देख सकते हो ग्रीन है येलो है, ऐसा नहीं है कि डार्क ग्रीन है लाइट ग्रीन है, आप पहचानने में कंफ्यूज हो जाओ, राइट. तो इतने ज्यादा concrete or we can say conspicuous characters है, you can see it, right. Then you have फॉर एग्जाम्पल टॉल एंड ड्वार्फ पी, लंबा है छोटा है, but दिख सकता है आपको वो, राइट. सम पी प्लांट प्रोड्यूस अ राउंड येलो सीड्स एंड while other produce a wrinkled green seeds, so that are very conspicuous characters, so you can find it out. That is the first why he chose a pea plant. Another reason for choosing a pea plant was that they were self pollinated. They were self-pollinated. You don't have to put a pollinator plant for there. You don't have to take another plant. You don't have to take a male plant differently, female part differently. वो pollinate करता है within the plant. ठीक है, तो pollination भी जल्दी होगा without any facilitation. Also, Mendel chose pea plant because many generation of a pea plant can be produced in a competitively short span of time. Their study much simpler than that of animals, right? ऐसा नहीं होता कि एक ट्रेट इस सीजन में लगा, दूसरा दूसरे सीजन में लगा, फिर तीसरे सीजन में लगा. No, they are repeating their crops very short period of a time. They giving you a new offspring very short period of a time. Then you can study a F1 generation, right? Filial 1 generation, filial 2 generation, so and so forth in very short period of a time. That's why he took a pea plant. So now let's see what are the characteristics they took. He took 7 characteristics of a pea plant to study. What are the characteristics? One is the seed. Seed form. Seed का form कैसे होगा? Round होगा, wrinkled होगा. Cotyledon कैसा होगा? Yellow होगा, green होगा. Flower का color क्या होगा? These are the 7 characteristics. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characteristics. Form of a seed, color of a seed, color of a flower, form of a pod. पॉड का फॉर्म देख सकते हो. कलर ऑफ अ पॉड ग्रीन होगा, येलो होगा. देन द प्लेस, एक्सियल पॉड्स फ्लावरिंग अलोंग, एक्सियल होने वाला है, टर्मिनल होने वाला है, लॉन्ग होने वाला है, स्टेम या शॉर्ट होने वाला है. सो दीज आर द 7 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ही स्टडीड थ्रू आउट हिज एक्सपेरिमेंट. Then let's start with the laws. 3 laws. One is law of dominance. What he said that Mendel's law of dominance state that when pair with pure contrasting trait are crossed together, only one form of trait appear in the next generation. The hybrid offspring will exhibit only dominant trait of the phenotype. ये मैंने आपको पहले भी कह दिया था कि पेरेंट अगर प्योर फॉर्म में, प्योर मतलब कि लेट्स टेक अ हाइट tt, this is pure, tt, this is pure. If they get crossed, let me show with a permanent pen. This is the pure male tall, this is a pure female short. We will cross them, they will give this that is not pure but have a dominant trait. Only dominant trait will express itself. That means the अगर आपने शॉर्ट प्लांट को हाइब्रिड करवाया है टॉल प्लांट के साथ, तो जो टॉल प्लांट जो ऑफस्प्रिंग होगा वो टॉल ही होगा. व्हाई? बिकॉज देयर इज अ प्रेजेंस ऑफ डोमिनेंट ट्रेट. दिस इज द फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दिस लॉ विद द हेल्प ऑफ डायग्राम. Here is a diagram. For example, this is a color of a this is the color of a fruit. There is a red color fruit. This is phenotype. Phenotype मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा था. Phenotype जो दिख रहा है, आपको दिख रहा है ये रेड कलर का. This is phenotype. Genotype इसका ये है AA. That means AA is homozygous condition. A is representing the red color of the fruit, and small a representing the yellow color of a fruit. When we cross these two plants with these two color of fruit, the baby plant will be red color. Why? Because A is a dominant trait. अब आप इसको क्रॉस कैसे करोगे? Let's take a Punnett square for this. ठीक है, ये पेरेंट है, एक पेरेंट ये है, एक पेरेंट ये है ना. तो एक गैमेट ये हो गई, एक गैमेट ये हो गए, राइट. तो बेबीज कैसे बनेंगे? ए क्रॉस ए क्रॉस ए क्रॉस ए क्रॉस ए. ऑल ऑफ द प्रोजेनी विल बी ए एंड ए, कैपिटल ए एंड स्मॉल ए. कैपिटल ए विल डोमिनेंट, सो डोमिनेंट का कलर क्या था? रेड था, तो बेबी विल बी विद रेड फ्रूट. दिस इज हाउ द लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस वर्क, एंड दिस वर्क फॉर ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल इन दिस वर्ल्ड. This is another example with a tall and short. You can see here if I have a two heterozygous form, you can say only the homozygous recessive trait represent itself when present in a homozygous form, otherwise no. Then we have law of segregation. In law of segregation, that state that every individual possesses a two alleles. Only one allele is passing on the offspring. For example, let's take the color of a flower in this case. Parent generation, P generation, F1 is filial 1 generation. Parent generation is RR. That means red color. R, capital R is representing the pure red color, and this is a dominant because it is representing in a capital R. Small r representing the white color. अब ऐसा नहीं होता कि ये दोनों के दोनों R आपके आगे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में चले जाएंगे. They segregate, each gene segregate and then cross. You can say only one R and one R is coming down and giving the R in R. The hybrid, ये white क्यों नहीं हुआ, red क्यों हुआ? Because capital R is dominant in nature. So you can say the segregation is taking place here. The gene are segregating before making the gametes. दोनों के दोनों alleles एक साथ नहीं चले जाते. Right? Segregation cell division के वक्त होता है जब आपके chromosomes की sister chromatids दोनों poles पे चले जाते हैं. तो वो एक ही gene अपने साथ लाती है, दोनों नहीं. Right? So yeah. Next is law of independent assortment. I already have told you, independent assortment means that each gene are independent to each other. ऐसा नहीं है अगर वो साथ present है तो वो दूसरे पे depend रहती है. Let's talk about how it works. The law of independent assortment state that during a dihybrid crossing of two pairs of trait, an assortment of each pair of trait is independent of each other. In other words, during gamete formation, one pair of a trait segregate from another pair of a trait independently. They are not depending on each other. इसका हम example के साथ करते हैं. Law of independence assortment. During the gamete formation, different pair of alleles segregate independently of each other. Here you can see this is a parent, right, with AA and BB, but producing evenly in a meiosis. They are making these gametes. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि A अगर कैपिटल B के साथ है, A अगर स्मॉल b के साथ है, तो स्मॉल a कैपिटल B के साथ नहीं जा सकता. हर एक जीन इंडिपेंडेंट है एक दूसरे से फॉर मेकिंग अ गैमेट्स. Right? They are not depending on each other. Let's see. For example, this is a dominant round. This is a recessive wrinkle, seed shape. This is a dominant color, yellow. This is a recessive color, green. Let's cross between them. For example, you are taking a round yellow. You are taking a dihybrid cross. You are taking a two characteristics. We already have talked about monohybrid and dihybrid cross in last video. So you are taking a round yellow and wrinkled green seed. When you cross them, they give this RR and YY. This is round yellow. The F1 generation show round yellow because capital R showing the round which is dominant, capital Y is showing yellow which is dominant. तो इन दोनों ने अपना रोल प्ले ही नहीं किया. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है जो रिसेसिव R और Y है वो डोमिनेंट R एंड Y पे डिपेंडेंट है. अब वो अपने आप को कभी आगे जाके शो ही नहीं करेंगे. No, they are independent of each other. This is known as independent assortment. Let's talk about how they represent themselves in further filial generations. अब क्वेश्चंस क्या अराइज होते हैं? Whether the allele of a different genes transmit together during the gamete formation. क्या ये दोनों एक साथ ट्रांसमिट होते हैं? Yeah, will R and Y always transmit together? Will R and Y always transmit together? क्या होने वाला है? Or alleles of a different genes are transmitted independently of each other? या वो एक दूसरे से independent होके transmit करेंगे? Let's take a two possibilities. अब हम दो possibilities लेने वाले हैं. The first possibility is allele of a different gene stay together. Allele of a different gene stay together. For example, this is a gamete. These are the gametes. Sorry, they stay always together. ये RY और RR हमेशा साथ रहेंगे. They will not cross. ये पहली condition है, right? So अगर ये condition है तो क्या होने वाला है? So then हमेशा यही generation form होगी, right? Alleles of a different gene stay together when gametes are formed. This is the first possibility. हमेशा यही गैमेट बनेंगे, आर वाई बनेगा और स्मॉल वाई बनेगा. कभी भी आर के साथ स्मॉल वाई नहीं होगा, कभी भी स्मॉल आर के साथ कैपिटल वाई नहीं होगा. ये है पहली पॉसिबिलिटी. हमेशा यही बनेगा. अगर यही बनेगा तो हमेशा राउंड येलो और रिंकल येलो यही बनेगा. कभी रिंकल येलो रिंकल नहीं बनेगा, कभी ग्रीन राउंड नहीं बनेगा, राइट? बट ऐसा नहीं होता है. दे आर इंडिपेंडेंट. दे कैन मेक गैमेट विद एनीवन. ये कंडीशन भी हो सकती है, ये भी हो सकती है. लेट्स टेक अ सेकंड पॉसिबिलिटी. दिस इज द सेकंड पॉसिबिलिटी, राइट? गैमेट कैन बी फॉर्म YY, कैन बी फॉर्म RY, capital R, small y, can be formed small r, capital Y, can be formed small r, small y. ये चार गैमेट बन सकते. Alleles of different gene do not stay together when gametes are formed. They do not stay always together. ये दो नहीं होता, कभी इस तरह से भी होता है. अगर हम इनका क्रॉस करवाए तो क्या रिजल्ट आते हैं वो देखते हैं. You can see, अगर हमारे पास इस तरह के चार गैमेट बन सकते हैं, then you can see when we cross them it become RRYY, round yellow. When we cross them it become capital R, Y and Y, a round yellow, because Y is dominant. If you do this, then there will be YY, round yellow. And if you do this, RR YY, round yellow, right? In this case, you will cross RR, capital Y, small r, round yellow. In this case, RR, small y, round green. Here R, I am just multiplying them, huh? ऐसे करके मैं इनको सिर्फ multiply कर रही हूँ. Don't get confused. RR, capital Y, small y, round yellow. Capital R, so small y, round. Capital R है तो round, but yellow. इधर क्या होगा? RRYY, round yellow. RR, capital Y, small y, round yellow. Here it will be small r. यहाँ आप देख सकते हो. Let me erase it. अगर आपको ये नहीं दिख रहा, यहाँ पे small r है. इस small r को इस small r से multiply करोगे तो RR, capital Y, wrinkled yellow. Here also RR, capital Y, small y, wrinkled yellow. Right? Here it is RRYY, wrinkled yellow. RRYY, wrinkled green. Here it is RRYY, yellow but wrinkle yellow. The last one will be RRYY, the wrinkled green. So these are the conditions. इसका मतलब हर एक जीन एक दूसरे से इंडिपेंडेंट है. They are not depending on each other when they are making gametes. This law is known as law of independent assortment. So total plants 556 बनेंगे, जिसमें से 9:3:3:1 होता है. The inheritance of one trait doesn't influence the inheritance of another trait. This is the crux, or we can say the summary of independent assortment, that the inheritance of one trait doesn't influence the inheritance of other trait. Okay, so this is the meaning of law of independent assortment. Let me give you the summary of a video. We have discussed about Gregor John Mendel's work. Gregor John Mendel is known as a father of genetics. He took a pea plant. Why he took a pea plant? Because pea plant show a very conspicuous and a direct difference in a trait, like color of a seed, yellow and green, color of a pot, yellow and green, height of a plant, tall and short. It give a conspicuous and straight and visible change, right? One reason why he took pea plant. Second reason is he gave a different number of years, so many number of generation in very short period of a time, right? So it breeds very fast, we can say, right? So that is the second possible reason why he took a pea plant. Then he took a 7 characteristics. Kya? Color of a seed, shape of a seed, color of a flower, shape of a pod, color of a pod, and color of a height stem ka jo position hota hai, terminal ya axial, position of a flower in a stem. These are the 7 characteristics he took. और हर एक characteristic, हर एक trait पे उसने study किया, right? On the basis of his study, he gave us 3 laws. Law of dominance, that if traits are present in heterozygous form, one gene will dominate the other gene and show the appearance. That is known as law of dominance. Law of segregation. Gametes will during the gamete formation, genes will segregate. They are not going to, all alleles are not going together in the gamete. They segregate, alag hoti hai, and present in different gametes, right? Law of independent assortment. The inheritance of a one trait is not depending on the inheritance of other trait. They are independent of each other, right? So they can make any gamete, any form of a gamete. I hope this is helpful for you. In next video, we will talk about evolution. Before that, we will talk about variations, speciations, and so many things after the heredity. So I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you. Let's meet on next video.